What's good, Chief, in the building? Welcome back to the Doormen podcast. This is episode 23. It's good to see you guys back. Let's see what's going on today in the world of security. So I mentioned the last episode how I see a lot of people in the security industry beginning to branch out and talk more about the inner workings, talk about things that go on within our industry, and how I think it's a great thing for the industry. I think our industry is so hush-hush. There's a lot of obviously misconceptions about it because no one really has spoke about it. And I think it's something that will attract better people and also let people who were unaware that this is even an option understand that this is an option. This is a field that you can transition into if you're a certain type of guy, and you can make some money and build a career out of it. So this is from a podcast. This is a guy named Mr. Fain, and he's got a podcast that he does where he discusses a lot of things regarding bodyguarding and kind of the full, a little bit of everything from the mentality to everything. So I think it's good to hear different perspectives and bounce ideas. So I'll also be talking about other podcasts that I've seen as well with protectors, guys who are in the protection field who are talking about things related to security. I don't know if you guys can hear, it is storming outside over here in Atlanta. So it is one of those nights. But so let's jump into this first little, these are quick clips that he put on his page. So we're just it's not full videos, full episodes. So this is going to be a really short video. Let's dive in and see what we got.
I learned about this game, bro. You can't get into this situation where you just want 100% of everything. There's things that I may not be good at. I may be a good leader, but let's say, hey, this person's good at the financing part. Fucking Derek is good at fucking structuring the whole fucking thing. What I'm trying to say is plenty for money for everybody to make, but it's still a small circle to where shit gets around. There's people that's done that's burnt themselves, burned bridges that they can't even cross over anymore ever again. Especially when you have your company and you're a boss. You're gonna meet somebody, you're gonna give the trust, and that person's gonna burn you. And you gotta take that lesson learned. I feel like you have to go through that shit to know what it feels like and to understand how that shit works.
Yeah, House of Fame, that's his podcast name. But he made some good points here. As a guy, myself, who has a company, I've had a company for almost 10 years, going on 10, and he makes some good points. And this is the first thing I'm gonna hit on because this is kind of what came up for me. When he talks about people who have been in this industry for some time and have burnt bridges, that is a very real thing. And in this industry in particular, it seems, especially when you first start, it seems like it's a huge industry. It seems like it's disconnected, right? Everybody's kind of an independent entity doing their own thing. You'd be surprised how quickly your name, things that you've done, your work gets around, especially these days when it comes to social media. And when you're with certain kind of clients, you get known pretty quickly. Big major fails and security fails, those things are broadcast for everybody to see. And it's funny, there's a guy who I know, he's from Atlanta. He was recently on a show. And we get called to do different types of security work, but he was on a show and he was called to do one of these Bad Girls of Wherever show. And he was in the show doing security, and he was walking with some girl, and the girl got her hair pulled and punched. And it's funny because he was just talking about how, it's part of the show, but it's such a public thing. People are calling him like, bro, was that you? And what happened? And like it was a security letdown or something. And he's saying like, bro, this is part of the show. This is what they want people to fight. But that's just an example of like how quickly bad things get around. And when your face is attached to something, it can get around pretty quickly. And so you have a lot of people who are in this game who have burnt many bridges through their performance. And you got to be careful when you have a company and when people are hitting you to help staff and do things like that, who you put in position. I was recently on a tour, and this is a large scale tour with a very prominent artist. And the guy who had the contract, an old guy who's been around a while, but that doesn't necessarily, age does not mean that you're good at what you do. And here's a guy who ended up fumbling that contract because he put a guy who had a bad reputation in a leadership position, a position where he's handling money, a position where he's paying people, a position where he's interfacing with the client. And he didn't do his due diligence to find out this guy's background. And it turns out that the guy he put in charge is a complete snake. He doesn't do good business. He's untrustworthy. He's a liar. He's all of these things. But this older guy put this guy in charge of a major detail. And of course, what happens by the end of the detail, this guy has made such a mess of things. She fires everybody. She fires that dude's entire team. So like, that's the importance of understanding who you're working with. One person, one bad apple can mess everything up. And that is so true. So yeah, you gotta understand when you're doing this, do good work, because the industry, though it seems scattered, it gets around. Your name will get around. Your company name will get around more than you think. And so that's the first thing I thought that really stuck out to me with that clip. And, you know, and doing business. Also, he talked about how there are a lot of guys, there's a lot of different positions that guys can do. You got to have guys who are better than you around you at different things. If as a leader, you know how that quote goes, if you're the smartest guy in the room at everything, then you're in the wrong room. And it's the same case when it comes to security. There should be guys who are good at different things, especially when you're building an actual company. You know, you shouldn't be doing everything. And I learned that many years ago, having to put guys in managerial roles to help me to maintain things. Because what happens is you stretch yourself so thin because, you know, you think nobody can do it like me. Nobody's going to care like me. Nobody's going to put forth the effort like me. And while on one hand, that's true, that's poor leadership. Because a good leader, you have to be able to duplicate yourself. You got to be able to find good people, teach them what you know, and trust them enough to put them in a position to help. And of course, you're going to get burned sometime. You're going to run into bad people. You're going to run into people who take advantage of that and go off and do their own thing or try to steal a client, whatever the case is. But it's necessary to keep your peace of mind, and it's necessary to scale your business to where you ultimately want it to go. So I thought he made some good points on that one. Let's look at this next clip quickly.
Some of these damn guys need to start training in all aspects, whether it's fighting, shooting, all that shit.
We gotta start getting y'all craft up, man.
But it gotta be like a level base. I feel like you can't just train and just fight. Tell me if I'm wrong, because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going by what I've seen and what I've been around. People that are just fighters, they're just born to be fighters, they lacking the social skills, dog. The whole mission is like, if something goes wrong, they can automatically grab the person like
100%. You've known me for a while. 10 years ago, that was me. I was lacking.
That's what I'm saying.
My delivery wasn't good, so I'm trying to change. I'll say I stick to the fighting part because I still like to talk my shit. A lot of EPs, especially the young ones, if they want to come in. I got a private gym. Shout out to Better. We get in there and we could squabble. Yeah. Nothing serious.
It's crazy.
So obviously, they're just talking about the importance of training, being formidable, and how that is essential to the job. Not just like a video I did a few weeks ago talking about when you train, oftentimes when you know you can, you don't have to. And so a lot of these guys who are super gung-ho and all about fighting and throwing hands, and they think because they are tough and can fight that they can do this job. And I would say that is completely wrong. 90% of this job, 90% of it is soft skills. 90% of it is talking to people. 90% of it is problem solving and working under pressure and tactically figuring out how we can move and avoid a situation. That's the real job. It's been only, and I've been doing this for some time, and there's only been a handful of times in my entire career that I've had to have a physical altercation, and I mean like a fight. That is very rare. Now, the threat of physicality is always there. You've got to be ready to do whatever you need to do with weapons, with the hands, with everything. That's part of the game. So like, don't get it twisted. I'm ready every day I wake up and step out. But the times where you actually have to put hands on somebody, slam somebody, punch somebody. Those are typically fails. Those are typically when all else has failed, and now you just got to do what you got to do to protect yourself or to protect the person who you're with. But yeah, soft skills, man, these are the things that keep you a job. Because you're not fighting every day, because you're not paid to be a bully, what keeps you around? What keeps you a client saying, yeah, he's providing value to me other than whooping people's ass? It's the soft skills that you bring to the table. Are you helping the client stay organized? Are you always on point? When they say we're leaving at 12 o'clock, are you downstairs at 11:30, ready to rock and roll? So if they come down early, you're already there. Are they waiting on you? Are you complaining and asking for food and talking about you didn't get enough sleep last night and talking too much in the car, getting too much in their personal business? Do you think you're part of the crew? Are you all of these things? These are soft skills. Do you know how to interact with managers? Do you know how to interact with other guards so that you guys can cohabitate and work effectively? Small things. Are you groomed properly? Are you taking showers? Are you brushing your teeth? It even goes to these small things, because a lot of the small things are things that get people X'd out. It makes people like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this person. It's not because they can't fight. It's typically not it. It's a small thing. You talk too much. Yeah, a lot of you talk too much. You would be surprised how often I hear this from clients. He talks too much. He's too friendly. When you're working with somebody and you're security and you're hired to protect, they look at you for their security. If there's a situation, if they're in a crowd, whatever, you're the person who they look to for security. They look to you for strength. They look to you for confidence. And you always around talking and chit-chatting with somebody. That's a problem. Are you the ladies' man? Always worried about a girl, looking at girls, easily distracted. Clients pick up on this stuff, right? So a lot of you people are just unlikable in general. And if you're an unlikable guy just in your normal every day-to-day life, this is not for you. Because when it comes to longevity and being with a client for a long time, which is the goal, that comes with an understanding of how to get along. That comes with an understanding that I am here to just provide a service, to be a piece of the puzzle, and to get out of the way. I am here usually to be seen and not heard. I'm not here to add any more extra stress, any more extra variables, any more extra anything. I am low maintenance. Those are the guys who stick around the longest. That's who you want to be. And that's what's going to keep you around for the long run. Understand, it's the soft skills. It's the extra skills. It's not the fighting. It's not the shooting. You should be good at those things. And obviously we train those things every week. Focus on the other things. And that's just the long and short of it. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in. I am way over my time. This has been episode 23 of the Doormen podcast. If you have any security related footage, any videos, send them to my IG at Chief Gavin Mont. We'll dissect them, break them down, throw them on the show. And that's it. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. I'm Chief, and we'll see you guys next time. Shout out to the House of Fame podcast, man. Keep it up. Content, quality, everything looks great, man. We need more guys like you. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Love. I'll see you next time. Peace.